You've probably asked yourself this question before. Does trying to hold on to someone ever really make them come back? Let's be honest. How many times have you stared at your phone, heart racing with every notification, only to feel disappointed when it wasn't the person you were hoping for? How many nights have you spent wide awake, replaying every memory, every word, every glance, asking yourself, should I message them first? Should I block them just to stop seeing them happy without me? Do they still think about me? Even just a little? The truth may hurt, but you need to hear it. Chasing after someone doesn't make them stay. It only pushes them further away. Every time you reach out, try to explain, or beg for another chance, you may not realize it, but you're making yourself look more desperate, not lovable. Even blocking them isn't always a sign of strength. Sometimes, it's just a clumsy attempt to avoid the screaming emotions inside you. But there is one thing you can do, not to bring them back, but to protect yourself. Silence. Not as a manipulation tactic, not as a game to make them wonder, but as a mark of inner strength and emotional maturity. When you stop chasing and stop needing validation from someone who chose to walk away, you begin to reclaim your energy. The energy you once poured into keeping someone who was already slipping through your fingers. And then something powerful happens. Your energy shifts. The pain no longer defines you. You no longer measure your worth by someone else's presence or absence. That's when healing begins. That's when you start to move forward, not to forget, but to fully return to yourself. In this video, I'll share 10 life-changing lessons to help you see yourself differently and take the next steps, not in pain or bitterness, but in peace, strength, and unwavering self-respect. Now, take a deep breath, and let's begin this journey together. 1. Emotional control. The gateway to deep inner freedom. We often forget that you're unconsciously handing them the power over your emotional state when you react impulsively, with anger, sadness, or frustration in response to someone else's actions. Instead of mastering your mind, you allow your feelings to be directed by others, by external circumstances. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." At first glance, this may seem like a simple reminder, but it carries a profound wisdom. True freedom doesn't come from changing what happens to you, but from changing how you respond to it. Picture yourself as a mountain, standing tall amid a violent storm. The wind howls, the rain lashes down, thunder roars, but the mountain does not move. You remain calm, steady, grounded. This isn't coldness. It's not denial. It's inner strength. Emotional control doesn't mean suppression. It doesn't mean pretending you don't feel pain. It's a form of emotional discipline. You still feel everything, but don't allow yourself to be swept away by it. You choose to respond rather than react. And in that moment of mindful choice, you flip the power dynamic. You are no longer at the mercy of your emotions. You are in command. Silence, especially when you feel like exploding, isn't a tactic to win. It's a quiet declaration that you have outgrown the pain, risen above the hurt, and evolved beyond the carelessness of others. When you master your emotions, you preserve your dignity and unlock the door to true personal freedom. 2. True peace comes from acceptance, not from control. We often fall into the trap of thinking, if I try hard enough, if I can just hold on tighter, everything will eventually go my way. But the truth is, the more you try to control everything, the more exhausted and helpless you feel. Every attempt to manipulate outcomes, manage other people's emotions, or force a relationship to slip away is a battle you were never meant to win. And deep down, you probably know it. Stoic philosophy reminds us, accept everything as it is, not as you wish. This isn't about giving up. It's not resignation. It's a profound understanding that life owes you no explanations. People come and go. Emotions change. Circumstances shift. Much of it is beyond your control. And that's okay. So when someone chooses to walk away, let them go. Don't beg. Don't send that late-night message. Don't try to hold on to a heart that no longer stays. Your job is not to convince them. Your job is to stay anchored in yourself. See their departure not as a failure, but as a lesson. It's not the end of your story, but a chapter in your growth. The more you resist, the more you suffer. But the more you accept, the lighter you become. Peace doesn't arrive when everything finally works out the way you imagined. It arrives when you stop expecting life to meet all your plans. It begins when you take a deep breath and say, I will let life unfold as it will, and walk forward with gratitude and grace. Because in the flow of life, no one stays forever, but you can always choose to stay with yourself. And that is the most important relationship you will ever have. 3. The strongest response is always personal growth. When someone walks away, the first thing we often feel is emptiness, a sense of loss that's hard to understand. The memories, the longing, the unanswered questions keep looping in your mind. But do you know what the most powerful response is? It's not showing sadness or trying to prove your worth to them. It's using that very pain to rebuild a better version of yourself. The philosopher Seneca once said, adversity does not destroy a person. It reveals who they truly are. When someone leaves, it's not just a loss. It's an invitation to return to yourself. You can choose to stay stuck in the pain, or you can choose to stand up, face reality, and begin the slow, meaningful process of rebuilding from the inside out. Remember this. Every time you think about them, there is a moment you can redirect toward yourself. Use that time to learn something new. Move your body. Heal old wounds. Invest in skills. Start building a life you're genuinely proud of. You don't need to post cryptic messages, change your profile picture, or pretend you're happy. True transformation happens quietly, and that silence speaks louder than anything else. You move forward not to prove you're okay, but because you deserve a full, grounded, and meaningful life with or without them. And one day, you'll look back and realize their departure wasn't a loss. It was the beginning of a quiet, powerful chapter of growth. 4th, stop seeking the perfect ending. Closure often comes from within. In love, friendship, or any kind of relationship, we often crave closure. A clear explanation, a sincere apology, or, at the very least, a proper goodbye. But the truth is, not every story ends neatly. Sometimes, people leave without saying a word. Sometimes you never find out why. And sometimes, you wait endlessly for a final moment of clarity. And it never comes. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Don't argue about what a good person should be one." This quote reminds us that healing doesn't come from others. It begins with how we choose to live after they're gone. So don't wait for them to come back and explain everything. Don't wait for an apology to allow yourself to let go. Because closure isn't something someone else gives you. It's something you give yourself. It's a decision, a courageous choice to move forward, even when some questions remain unanswered. Accept that the chapter has ended, even if some parts feel unfinished or unresolved. Then, place your hand on your heart and begin writing the next one, with a wiser, stronger, more self-aware version of you. True closure isn't found in a final conversation. It comes the moment you stop looking back. It's when you decide to keep living, even if your heart still carries unspoken questions. And you realize you don't need a perfect ending to start a meaningful new beginning. 5. Real strength lies in indifference, not apathy, but grounded self-respect. When someone hurts you, leaves without explanation, or makes you feel small in a relationship, the instinctive response is to act, to reach out, explain, or block them, just to feel some control. But all of that reveals one thing: you're still being emotionally driven by them. Seneca once said, "Indifference is a kind of strength, the ability to remain steady in the face of what you cannot control." Indifference doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean you pretend nothing happened. It means you've reached a level of emotional maturity where you can watch someone walk away and not feel the need to chase or prove anything. You remain still, not out of pride, but because you finally learned to feel whole from within. Perhaps the best definition of healthy indifference is this: I'm okay, whether you stay or go. Because now, someone's presence or absence no longer defines your worth. You no longer need validation to feel enough. You no longer need answers to feel at peace. And in that indifference, you discover something you've been searching for all along: freedom. Freedom from expectations. Freedom from emotional dependency. Freedom from the thought, I am not enough. Indifference doesn't make you cold. It makes you calm. Because you've finally chosen to return to the inner world that belongs to you, a space no one can disturb unless you allow it. And in time, you'll come to see. The most peaceful place is not when everything's perfect, but when nothing outside you can shake what's within you. 6. When silence speaks for you, a quiet presence with undeniable power. Have you ever wondered what truly makes someone stop and reflect? It's not the long messages, not the pleading words, not the heated arguments. It's silence. Silence becomes one of the most powerful languages we can speak in a world full of noise, where everyone rushes to express opinions, explain themselves, or hold on tightly to those leaving. Saying nothing often says everything. Seneca once wrote, "If a person doesn't know which port they're sailing to, no wind will be favorable." This applies not only to life's direction, but also to relationships. No explanation will ever be enough if someone doesn't know what they want from you. So if someone chooses to walk out of your life, don't rush after them. Don't fill the silence with desperate messages, excuses, or pleas for return. Instead, let your absence become something they have to face. Let them feel the weight of a presence they once overlooked. Think of a candle. When protected, it burns steadily. But if you blow too hard, it's snuffed out. Love is the same. The more you chase in fear, the faster it fades. But when you step back, not because you've given up, but because you respect yourself, you give them space to feel, think, and decide independently. Silence, when paired with self-respect, isn't coldness. It's a declaration: I know my worth. I don't need to scream to prove it. And sometimes, the quietest goodbye, the one without drama or blame, lingers in their memory the longest. Because they'll realize what they lost wasn't someone who always had something to say, but someone who knew when to stay silent and how to walk away with dignity. 7. True strength is walking forward without looking back. Many people fall into the trap of thinking that moving on means forgetting the past. That smiling again somehow erases everything you once felt. But that's not the truth. Moving forward doesn't mean forgetting. It means refusing to let the past define you anymore. You can still remember. You can still honor what once was. But instead of letting it hold you back, you turn it into a stepping stone for growth. You don't deny the past. You simply choose not to live in it. Stoic philosophy teaches, Strength isn't resisting what has happened. It's accepting it as a part of life. When you stop looking back for answers and stop trying to decode what can't be explained, you begin to open space. Space for something new, for renewal, for emotional rebirth. It's like trying to walk while constantly turning your head. You'll never go far unless your eyes are set on the path ahead. Remember, the past is a chapter already written. The more you reread it, the more stuck you become in what's already over. Every day spent in regret is a day lost from creating something beautiful now. The best way to honor what once was is to move through it and become better because of it. Life never stops moving. It waits for no one. It never rewinds, and neither should you. You deserve to walk forward with confidence, gratitude, and eyes open to the future. Let what lies ahead light your path, brighter than any memory behind you. And eventually, you'll realize, peace doesn't live in the places you used to be. It lives in the courage to keep walking forward. 8. Stop resisting. Accept reality to reclaim your freedom. Life rarely unfolds exactly how we plan it. No matter how carefully we prepare, there will always be moments that knock the wind out of us. A sudden breakup, a rejection we didn't expect, or betrayal from someone we trusted most. It can feel like the world has collapsed beneath our feet in those moments. And our instinct? To resist. We try to hold on to what's already gone. We scramble to piece things back together, clinging to hope. Or worse, we shut down emotionally, block them out, and spiral into bitterness. But here's the painful truth. Resistance doesn't erase the pain. It deepens the wound. Stoic philosophy has long taught a powerful truth. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You cannot control what happens outside of you, but you can always control your mind." This doesn't mean you have to approve of what happened. It means you get to choose how you face it, in a way that doesn't harm yourself even further. You don't need to beg anyone to come back. You don't need to block someone to prove you're fine. Instead, say to yourself, "It happened, and now I will choose how I go forward." Acceptance doesn't mean agreement with the pain. It means choosing peace over continuing a battle that's already ended. Picture yourself carrying a heavy backpack, filled with stones of anger, regret, clinging, and sorrow. You've carried it so long that you barely realize why you're exhausted. But one decision changes everything. You set it down. And instantly, you feel lighter. Not a little, but immensely. Acceptance is the first step to reclaiming your power. And the sooner you accept, the sooner you begin to heal. Because in the end, freedom doesn't come from changing others. It comes from your decision to stop fighting what already exists. That's the moment true healing begins. 9. Rebirth. Rebuilding yourself from the ruins. When someone you once loved walks away, the loss isn't just about the relationship. Sometimes it feels like you've lost a part of yourself. You begin to question who you are without them. Life feels blurry, as if your only anchor has been pulled away. But take a moment. Ask yourself, honestly, were you ever truly whole? Or were you unconsciously letting them fill the empty spaces within you, the parts you never learned to love or care for on your own? The philosopher Seneca once said, "Begin at once to live, and count each day as a separate life." That's not just a gentle reminder, it's a call to action. Begin again, not tomorrow, but now. The moment someone leaves might shake your entire world, but in the rubble, you'll find an opportunity to be reborn, rebuild, and rediscover yourself with new eyes. Instead of staying locked in the room of memories, staring into the void they left behind, step into the light. Read that book you never finished. Write a few lines in your journal. Try cooking something new. Sign up for the class you kept putting off. Each small act becomes a brick laying the foundation of a stronger, deeper, more authentic you. Imagine yourself as a sculptor and your life as a large, unfinished block of stone. Someone walking away didn't destroy the masterpiece. They simply revealed more of what was waiting inside. When used wisely, pain becomes the most powerful tool to shape yourself. And the most powerful revenge isn't flashy success to make them regret. It's when you no longer need them as motivation at all. You shine, not to be seen by them, but because you deserve to live a full, radiant life for yourself and by yourself. Believe this: every ending is an invitation to begin again, and the journey back to yourself may become the most beautiful story you ever wrote. 10. Letting go isn't weakness. It's the highest form of inner strength. Many of us fear the words "let go." We equate them with rejection, detachment, or coldness. We're taught that if we love someone, we should fight, hold on no matter what, and prove our devotion. But the truth is, sometimes, letting go isn't giving up. It's the bravest choice. The choice to move forward without losing yourself. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." That's suffering. It often doesn't come from the breakup itself, but from the stories we tell ourselves afterward. I can't live without them. They were my other half. If they come back, everything will be okay. Those beliefs trap you. That attachment hands over the key to your happiness. But what if you took that key back? What if, instead of reacting to their absence, you began to come home to yourself? To care for your heart, not out of revenge, but out of respect. Picture emotions as a flowing river. You're swept away by grief, longing, and resistance if you jump in. But if you step onto the bank and watch, without fighting it, you'll see emotions come and go. You are not the river. You are the one observing it. You can still love someone without losing yourself. You can care deeply without falling apart if they don't feel the same. You can hurt and still hold your head high. Letting go is a quiet act, but it's incredibly powerful. It says, I choose myself. I choose peace. I keep walking, even if my heart still carries scars. True strength doesn't lie in clinging to what's leaving. It lies in letting go with dignity, with grace, with self-respect. And when you let go the right way, you don't lose anything. You simply reclaim who you are. The real power isn't in chasing someone or convincing them to stay. It's in standing firm in your values, even when your heart still aches. It's choosing silence, not because you have nothing to say, but because you know not every truth needs to be spoken. It's pouring your energy inward, into healing, growth, and things that nourish your soul. And gradually, you begin to take back control of your life. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, because when your inner strength is real, it speaks for itself. It shows up in your calm responses, steady steps, and peaceful way. You face what once shattered you, and so you keep walking. No need to rush. No need to get it all right today. Just one step at a time, you'll soon be miles ahead of who you used to be. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need to hear this message. Because growth isn't a lonely journey. As part of the Stoic Guide community, we're here together, learning to live with calm, strength, and depth. See you in the next video. Stay grounded, stay strong, and always live with purpose. Thank you for listening.